In a bit. Let's give Josh his time and others after that.
Hello class, this is my lanyard from a summer at Brown program that I did. It's a pre-college program for high school students every summer. And it has a really, I think, interesting and funny story tied to it, so I'm going to go ahead and talk about that. So, I went to Brown, and I didn't know anybody. My mom basically just dropped me off with my luggage, thankfully she made my sheets for me, but she basically left me in my room, and I was there just sitting for about an hour. I sat on my bed, I was banging my head against the wall, just sitting with my back against the wall. It was a whitewashed room, and it was just absolutely depressing. I didn't know anybody there. I knew that I had 3 weeks basically to either be a loner or to make some friends, hopefully. So in an act of absolute desperation, I actually took a trip to the bathroom down the hallway. I walked down the hallway and went to the bathroom in hopes that I would meet somebody. That's a little bit weird. I think criminals do that sometimes, but I was pretty desperate. So I went down to the bathroom, and thankfully there's no one in the bathroom, because in hindsight, I think that would have been a little bit creepy if I tried to talk to someone in there while standing next to the urinal or something like that. So thankfully, I walked out of the bathroom and went back to my room. There was another kid in his room. His name was Jeff, actually. Not this Jeff, obviously, but another Jeff, who was alone in his room in a very similar state to what I was in. He looked very bored. He was kind of just typing on his computer. I didn't even know that he could connect. I don't think he was actually connected to the internet, so I don't really know what he was doing. But so I went in and talked to him very politely. I actually knocked on the open door and asked, "What time is our meeting with the residential advisors?" Because we had a meeting that evening, and I actually already knew the answer. I was just trying to start a conversation with him. So he responded, and he looked back down at his computer, and I knew that was my cue to leave. So I went back to my room and sat down on my bed again, and I realized that I can't do this for another 3 weeks. If this is how it's going to be, then I'd rather just leave the camp at this point. So instead of just sitting there, I just got back up, marched back down the hallway, and went into this kid's room and asked with these exact words, "Hey, I'm really bored. Do you want to take a walk?" Now, as I was thinking about this, I mean, those are just some of the most ridiculous words that I've ever started a conversation with. I mean, it's pretty direct, it's pretty forward, but he looked at me with a very incredulous face, but I knew that deep down when he looked at me that he was just as bored as I was, so he actually agreed. And he didn't know anybody, I didn't know anybody, so we decided to take a tour around, our little tour around campus, and we decided that we had some interests, we both play guitar, and I realized that I took a humongous risk. He could have just laughed in my face and just sent me away, just being like, "Oh, this kid's a loser who starts a conversation like that." But I did, and for the rest of the camp, actually, we were very close. We were only 10 feet apart in terms of our room, so we used to see each other all the time. And we still laugh about how I actually started that conversation, because that's basically the way we started all our other conversations during the rest of the camp. We just go up to random people, we start talking to them, and I have friends in 10 different countries now, at least. I couldn't even count, but anywhere from Puerto Rico to Vietnam to India to England to the United States, obviously. I have a lot of friends, and I realized that while I was at Brown that taking risks and trying to meet people and doing things is a really big part of how I live my life ever since I went to Brown. I actually, with Jeff, I performed in front of 500 kids who I've never met before. I've never sung solo in front of more than 10 people, and I decided it'd be a good idea to sing in front of 500 kids that I didn't know. So that went over well. I sweated a lot, but it was fun. I realized that taking risks is a very good way to meet people. It's a very good way to have fun in life. It usually makes you a little bit nervous, but I wake up every day and I take this lanyard out of my drawer, and I realize that, you know, let's meet someone today. Let's ask a ridiculous question. Let's perform in front of 500 people that I don't know, and hopefully something good will come out of it.